Hello ladies and gents, welcome to the night point of view review. In front of us is the new Peugeot 2008 facelift. So inside is the 1.2 PureTech 130 horsepower 8-speed automatic. If we unlock the car, you can see the LED daytime running lights flash, you can see the LED headlights, and if you lock it you can see the turn signals once again with the remote LED lights. We're sitting on 18-inch alloys, quite comfortable suspension, and checking the rear LED taillights. And this is the new signature. Now let me just open it up. This is the cargo space, quite spacious. There's some extra room underneath. 434 liters, 1,467 if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna keep the key in my pocket and I'm gonna head up a night drive. Safety first. Now let's start the car. Okay, French cars, you have to, at least Peugeot, hold in and then it turns on. It's not like German cars where you press once. You have to hold it in for a second or two. Okay, we're greeted with the beautiful, kind of familiar 2008 interior. And the facelift has, if you're here for the first time, I'm just going to mention this, bigger infotainment screen, and this is the GT pack, so 3D cockpit is standard. In the Allure you get the non-3D cockpit, it's still digital, and if you go for the base active you get the classical needles. I'm just gonna touch here so you can see the interior. We have beautiful Alcantara option seats with leather, and finally this is a new 8-speed automatic. Here there's no more little thing here. There's a wireless charger, you can put your phone here. I'm not gonna use that at the moment, and you can see the beautiful red ambient lights. Now let me just show you though. So we have Apple CarPlay here, but not what I wanted to show. Settings, so let me just browse through the customization. Interior lights, so let me just show you here. You have the green. There's like 2 tones of green, actually 3. There you go. Then you have like a blue, white, still actually looks blue perhaps, purple. Oh, there's a white, so it kind of matches the white illumination on the buttons, but I'm gonna keep it red. It looks kind of cool. And of course you can change the color here. The red also can be blue or other colors. Yeah, and just a speaker or sound system demo. You can also see this beautiful clock, which I really love. Okay, I can't play the music for too long, but I gotta say that the speaker system is quite good, very decent. I want to show you the reverse camera. It is quite good. It's finally now HD cameras and looks pretty solid. Put it to drive, we're gonna head out. You can still see the camera, very practical. And if you go reverse, it maps the background. Let's head out. Okay, we have a little bit unexpected rain. Let me turn on the navigation. Okay, so in this situation the A-pillar might be a little bit obstructive. So, you know, let's start with this. The surrounding around the car is, for the most part, good. View in the back mirror is good. You can see further behind you, but still, I think you can, you know, get a feeling for the distance if you're backing up into a parking space in a garage. Side mirrors are okay, but this area around the mirror is kind of a blind spot for traffic lights in some cases, and then the the A pillars might be like this side problem when you're, you know, checking for pedestrians. So that's the only issue. Now steering. Well, it's not super precise, but it's good. If I switch to sport mode, let me just do that for a moment here. Do I pass this speed bump? Okay, sport mode. Yeah, there's slight more resistance, and now it's just the right spot, gives you more feedback. So if you go to the normal, it's a little bit lighter, maybe easier for parking. Okay, 8-speed automatic. The automatic's quite good. It works okay, but generally speaking, ICE car or internal combustion engine, thermic engine, whatever you call it these days, one thing is disadvantage in this setup compared to the E2008 or the electric version of this car. The car jumps a little bit when you because there's like a small delay when you start, and it's just, for me personally, that's something I dislike. I got used to driving an electric car for almost 2.5 years by now, so I prefer the car, you know, to start instantly, and I don't like when I punch the acceleration or the gas pedal in this case and the car just jumps, or when I press the brake the car leans forward a lot. When you have electric version, it's heavier, so it doesn't do that much body movement. But when we're talking about body movement, I gotta say this car is very good in the bends. I hadn't experienced the body leaning if you're slightly aggressive, so that's good. Now in this case, the GoPro is slightly lower than my eye level, but I can definitely not see that traffic light in front of me, so I have to lean on the side to check it. So that's the little thing I was mentioning earlier. Now, brakes are not too aggressive. They're right on the spot, how I like it. I'd say they're progressive. The more you press them in, the more they brake. Some cars tend to be oversensitive when it comes to brakes, so they brake early, they grip a lot, and they're a little bit oversensitive. Now, as you can see, the car just speeds up nicely, and who would say that 130 horsepower would be more than enough? Before, 150 or more was always a standard, but this is just the right spot for this car and for its weight. 130 horsepower feels right, and also it's surprising this is a 3-cylinder. Now you cannot get the 4-cylinder anymore for the petrol, but you can get it if you still want the diesel, and I think that's going to be the last diesel for this car. So if you want the diesel option, you can get the 4-cylinder, also 130 horsepower if I'm not mistaken, and you can get the base 100 horsepower petrol 3-cylinder with a 6-speed manual. But I personally prefer the automatic, especially for the city driving, you know, start-stop traffic. It's just way better in my personal opinion. Now, I hope you can see the digital cockpit well. I've kind of lowered the steering wheel more than I would have it personally, so you can have a better view. Now, comfort, well, I haven't adjusted too much, to be honest, but I think the seats are pretty comfortable. They're nicely profiled, and so far I had no complaints. And I've driven the pre-facelift, but the electric version, and so far as the memory serves me, it was a very comfortable car. But I've got to say I preferred the smoother ride and the quiet ride of the electric version. Now, just a little note for the regular audience: the new electric version, there's upgraded electric motor, more horsepower and slightly bigger range. Also has standard heat pump. So for those of you who have a home or a garage and you can charge your car, it makes sense to go electric, economically speaking, and then of course, environment speaking, less smog and pollution coming from your car. But you know, if you want the range, if you need, or if you don't have a garage, so you know, it just makes more sense than to have a petrol car or a diesel car. Doesn't matter, whatever your preference is. You know, then this is a quite good setup, and I am really not disappointed. And I think Peugeot made it right. It just feels nice and nimble. And if you put it to sport, the car just comes alive. I would say in the normal, I don't use the eco programs ever, but the normal here is something just for my personal taste. I'm not a fast driver. It's definitely not in the cities, but sometimes if I want to go to the highway and I want just a little bit more response from the car, then I can kick it into the sport and enjoy that. Now, yeah, let me show you the 3D cockpit. So you can switch to driving here, and it shows you the car. I'm going to come back to that. You have also the lane assist there and the distance. You can see the navigation. So if you are here on a different setup, you can see the navigation. Oh, it went away. That's kind of odd. Let me see if it comes back. If I go back to navigation. No. Okay, for some reason, not sure why, decided to remove the navigation. Okay, let me just see if I go back to it. Red light. Okay, for some reason it removed it. Maybe when you reset, I don't know. Then there's this one. This is like the non-3D cockpit. For some reason it's called minimalist. I would expect the minimalist to be in the center. Okay, there's a new, look at this. This is what they've decided to make here because of the crosswalk. They've tried to squeeze in 2 lanes instead of 3, so they force you to slow down because people weren't slowing down. Of course, for my videos I'm slowing down, especially at night because you can't see some pedestrians if it's dark. But yeah, so this is the way to force people to slow down. You can see the radio here, it's currently off. You can personalize the personal 1 and personal 2, so you can, you know, add something that you like. This one's like checking if you're tired, and then have the dials. I'm gonna keep those on. I've used the phone. See, this is, sorry for interrupting. So this is something I don't like. The car engages the start stop. So if you want to switch it off, you have to press the car here and then start stop off. So just the car kicks off, sort of feels like it just jumps forward and then shuts off, and sometimes you're gonna see in my day point of view it just switched off in a wrong moment. I was trying to stop, make a turn, and just checking if there's anyone, and just the car turns off. And I've turned it off, and what happens is it automatically re-engages it, so it doesn't memorize it that I want it off. It just turns it on every time when you restart the car. Now, I've mentioned we're on 18-inch alloys, so I would say this is a good ratio of comfort with enough tire, and then for the looks. But you know, 19-inch looks even better, but then you have less tire. And French cars, and this 2008 has a very comfortable suspension. It's nice and soft, but some of the bumps I've felt harder, if that makes sense. Okay, let's punch it a little bit. We're gonna come up. See, there's a little traction kicking in there. It's a wet surface, so okay. Manhole. This one was nice and light. This one's a really big one. Okay, and very comfortable. Okay, this was not the point I was trying to make, but definitely there was some certain uneven parts of the road, or maybe some of those speed bumps that are not, how would I say it, round. They're more like not square but like rhomb shape, and then those really, like, you just feel like you've ran over for something hard. I don't know. Okay, we have winter tires on, so they're better on wet surface. I will switch to the sport mode. Hopefully won't be any traction issue. So I want you to see the performance of the engine. Also, we have the headlights on automatic. All the way. Oh, it just speeds up nicely. So there's a, well, 2 kilometers 80. Now there is a construction, but it's far out, so this is like preventive, I guess. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to speed on camera, definitely, so we're gonna, you know, stick to the 10% tolerance we have. What else? I don't think this display had the minimalist option, but the display is quite nice. You're gonna see here, this is more fluid now. So, you know, one of the downsides of the 2008 and the 208, for example, were the infotainment. It was just a bit slow, especially the navigation. It was very laggy. Even the 3D cockpit was a bit slower, but now the transitions are quite nice. Okay, now the speed limit is here 100, so we can speed up. And so you can see here the green lines in front. So now they're off, but the car turns them on, like now. So it should keep you not leaving the lane. It pushes you back in, so you're good, but it doesn't keep you in the center too much. It just kind of bounces you back and forward like a ping pong. Now I can engage the cruise control, and I can set the difference, the distance. Okay, now the car is saying again it's 80, so not sure. Okay, let's just keep it to 90 then. Actually, everyone went forward, but you can see here normal, close, or far distance. Really beautiful animation on the 3D cockpit there. And I gotta say, I really like the cockpit. I'm gonna switch it off. You of course have the speed limiter as well. You can engage that one. This is how it looks. Let me see here. It goes amber. And yeah, generally the 2008 is improved on the spots that were like key, maybe cons about the car on the pre-facelift, and it's just improved. So, you know, Peugeot was definitely hearing the customers and you know, improving the infotainment. I realized that this brightness is quite high. I think the person before me kind of left it on the highest settings, so I apologize if that is super bright. I just realized now. Interior is nice, and if you like the Peugeot setup, that is still here. It hasn't changed. It's gonna be nice. Some of you, I'm not sure that you like this setup. I've heard some comments that you feel like it's outdated. I like the fact that this is illuminated. There are two lights on the top here, so they do illuminate my hand here. I had that in my Skoda before, so that was a nice addition. Because of this speed limit here for some constructions that are not even here, I think they start before my exit. Excuse me, after my exit. I've tested the car the day point of view driving, so check that one out. To 150, and you know, the soundproof inside is okay to 130. It's a boxy shaped car, it's tall, so you know, aerodynamics are not the greatest then, and then it's just there's a lot of wind noise. Definitely at 150 there's more wind noise, so but like up to 100 it's quite okay. And we're on winter tires, so they're a little bit noisier. Yeah, we are going to go to the outside the city part where there's no traffic lights, so you can see the performance of the LED headlights. These are new. Okay, there is a little con that I've just remembered. Okay, maybe two. Still, I have to keep holding the brake because there's no auto hold. I have to engage the electronic parking brake. Now I can take off my foot off the brake. Also, I mentioned this in the review. The gas pedal, or the acceleration pedal, is too close to the brake pedal, which is kind of wide. And then you really have to push your foot, your right foot, all the way to the right and touching the, you know, the side, because if I'm, let's say, normally using my right foot, I keep touching the brake pedal, so it's kind of an issue, I would say. Almost, maybe it's just me. I don't think I have a too big, at least not too wide feet. I think I have normal feet, but I do have a larger size since I'm a tall person, but it was never an issue. But in this car, it's just like, feels like, I don't know, I'm touching it. And I know from auto school days, you don't want to accidentally keep pressing the brake while trying to press the acceleration as well. Also, petrol engine, kind of noisy, sounds like a coffee grinder. I guess I got used to it by now. I remember like a few years back when the first 3-cylinder engines came, people were complaining that they sound bad. People were really suspicious of the engines, if it's gonna be good long term. You know, everyone's like 4-cylinder, but you know, I think they've proven it's themselves, they're okay. Okay, so we're coming to this part when there is no street lights. Well, the performance is, I would say, wow, quite good. The long beam is very long. Yeah, let me stop here. I'm gonna take my iPhone out so you can see the performance. So the iPhone 15 Pro has a bigger sensor, so it takes in more light, so you can see more accurate picture. So that is the iPhone, and this is the long beam. Now, I don't notice any change compared to the pre-facelift. I think it's very similar. Okay, so I am in the sport mode, holding the brake, punching the gas, and let's go. Traction. brakes test. Okay, that was okay, not bad. I hope that's enough for the test. Should be. So yeah, definitely car's more responsive in the sport mode, but I personally prefer driving in the normal. It's a bit more gentle and the way I like it, and then the engine is slightly less noisy. Okay, we're gonna type in the search, show the navigation. I'm gonna say here Avenue Mall Shopping Center. Yes, please. They press enter. Okay. Avenue Mall Drive. Yeah. I'm gonna hear your comments. It'd be safer if you were not typing while driving. Yeah, somehow it's illegal to tap on these, but not on your phone while driving. You can use the voice commands, but the last time, I think in the Peugeot, it was just like not working in this region for some reason. So I just wanted to show the navigation slightly.
You will arrive at your destination at 0:13.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so you have all the good stuff. I'm gonna mute it, so I don't want to hear all of those. Yeah, for some reason the map isn't working. I wonder why. Let me just see if I can like switch off the car and then turn it back on. Yeah, I don't think it helped, which is kind of odd. Okay, forgot to press it in drive. Not sure why is the navigation not working. Because it was working today, and when we started the car, it just disappeared for some reason. I think I had this once on the car for some odd reason, just didn't work, and then the next day it was working normally. So you'll have to just watch this one. I mean, it'll be the same blue route in front, so you're not missing a lot. For some reason, I don't know. Ooh, they've added the arena there, so 3D buildings. It's a nice addition as well. Now if I go to the city center, to the old center, there's like all those 3D buildings, but I guess for the new buildings they don't make them. So cutting this in, checking the navigation, it works now, as you can see. So the car needed to reset, and cruising around 70 to 80. I've managed to drop the fuel consumption to 5 liters. So it was a short test, around 60 kilometers, but good enough for this 130 horsepower petrol engine with the 8-speed automatic. Okay, it's time to sum up the review, and I think I've said it more or less. They fixed the cons, at least the two, or maybe one major one. That was the infotainment. It was a smaller screen, it was slow. Now it's finally big, it's responsive, and the 3D cockpit also slightly more responsive. I guess there's few perhaps bugs still maybe to fix. Now you have over-the-air updates, so maybe in the future they will fix that, fingers crossed. And slight improvements, and you know, better looking facelift. So definitely, if you're interested in the 2008, go for it. It's a very pleasant car. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk about prices. Now in Croatia, this one was like, I think, close to 35, but inflation, car prices went up, so not much to say there. Okay, I'm just gonna press here end. Totally random person getting out of the garage at the late hour. Jokes aside, this is quite a good garage if you're in Zagreb, New Zagreb. It's a good garage, not too expensive, and you know, works 24/7. You can hear the petrol a little bit, window down. Okay, I shall turn here. Now for parking maneuvering, and I did some, you know, day point of view driving. It's pretty good, a U-turn, and it's pretty solid for parking, despite having only a rear camera. You can see here right now. So if I go reverse, you can see that the rear camera maps the things behind you. And if you approach an object, like for example, let me go to that column. I show this in the point of view driving, in the review, but if I go like close to the wall, you can see here, it's gonna switch the camera. See? So that's quite nice. So you're good. Now I wish they added a front camera as well, or 360. Actually might be an option, to be honest. 100% I haven't checked all the options in the configurator, because they have packages and then only few options. It's not like German cars where you have to option every single thing. I think I've summed it all. Hope I didn't forget anything. So let's switch it off. Oh yeah, I mean park. There you go, you get some information about the driving. Yeah, if you like the review, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I hope to see you in the next video. Now I gotta say, this red color looks amazing. It really pops, and I would recommend it. It looks quite superb, and you can see it here in this dark environment. You can see it also in the day point of view driving, and in the review it was a bit cloudy and sunny, so the color is just amazing. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.